Fights in anime is one of the most important and most interesting aspects of the show. It progresses the story in multiple ways and adds more richness and fun to the show. And to state the obvious, we love seeing hands being thrown. So here are our top 5 most influential fights in One Piece. Before moving on, why not you smash that like button, subscribe, and click on that post notification. Let's move on. Starting with number 5, Luffy versus Arlong. This is hands down the best fight in East Blue. Luffy fought Arlong the Fisherman to liberate Nami and her village from slavery. This led to immense trust for Nami and him getting his navigator that is very important in him achieving his own goal. And it's the first time that the show shows what Luffy can do and how far he will go for his crew members, and that they can depend on him when it's time. Number 4, we have Zoro versus Mihawk. Going into this fight, Zoro actually thought that he was that guy, but he's not that guy. After his fight with Mihawk, Mihawk beat him up with a butter knife, and it showed Zoro that he's nobody in the big span of the world, and he needs to train a lot harder for him to grow to be the strongest swordsman in the strongest crew. This fight also led to the vow that he made to his captain Luffy, saying that he would be the strongest swordsman and he wouldn't lose a fight till he eventually reaches his goal. And it also led to a connection built between Mihawk and Zoro, which proved to be useful in the future as Mihawk trained Zoro during the time skip. Then it brings us to the third fight, Ace versus Blackbeard. This fight was the reason why the biggest war happened, which is Marineford. It led to the death of Whitebeard and Ace. These deaths led to major character development from the MC, which is Luffy. And because of the outcome of this fight, Blackbeard eventually became a warlord, which led him to get Whitebeard's fruit at the end of Marineford, considerably buffing who is classified to be the final villain and boss in One Piece, at least from the pirate side. Number 2, Luffy versus Usopp. This fight was an emotional fight between two crew members, Luffy versus Usopp, over the fate of their beloved ship Going Merry. This was the first major conflict within the Straw Hats, and it showed major character from Luffy, who was always seen as playful and unserious. This fight proved that Luffy can be serious when the time is right, and he can be the captain when he has to. It also shows the individual characters of each and every one of the crew when there is conflict. And lastly, increase the amount of respect that his crew members have of him. Which brings us down to number 1 and the final fight, Kizaru and Kuma versus Straw Hats. I'm just gonna join this as one, even though they're two different fights, but they both serve the same purpose. This fight, for me, is the most influential fight in One Piece. Straight after arriving in the New World, they were completely battered by both Kizaru and Kuma, and it risked the death of many of the crew members if they hadn't been saved by Rayleigh and Kuma hadn't been a good guy. This fight proved to Luffy, or showed it to Luffy and the crew, that they are not as strong and they need to get stronger if they want to survive in the New World. It also showed Luffy that he can't make reckless decisions and charge into fights without thinking about the consequences that it would have on his crew. This fight is the most influential fight because it showed them that they needed that 2 years to go and train, and it gave Luffy the sense to tell his crew, go train for 2 years before coming back, if not death. And this is why I believe this fight was the most influential fight the Straw Hats have ever had, because it was the most eye-opening fight for them. This brings us to the end of our list. Please tell us any other fights that you like or you thought were influential in the comments. Don't be shy. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.